Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the DTM Trophy 2022. It is indeed race number 7 of the season. We're here at the Nürburgring, and of course, it's been a long wait for us all as we had some severe fog that didn't clear until 5 p.m. local time. And well, we've been given special permission to be able to race this late. And well, what does that mean? Well, we didn't have qualifying this morning, so that means that the championship order indeed has set our grid for today. So the lucky pole sitter is indeed Colin Carasani. So he will start on pole position. Here's Tim Heinemann then in that Supra. He will start in P2 as well. They will not get the championship points for the qualifying either because they didn't qualify. But indeed they will start on the front row for this race. It's been a very incredible day. Of course, if you've just watched the DTM race as well, it was a phenomenal race, and I'm expecting this to be very much the same. There's Thiago Vivacqua there looking very, very relaxed. These drivers have just been waiting around, doing not a lot really today, to be honest. Speaking to the fans have been able to get access to the drivers all day, in all fairness. It's been very interesting for them, to say the very least. There's a championship leader podium, and it's Colin Carasani, who indeed managed to get the lead of the championship coming out of the Nürburgring here in Season 3 of the DTM Trophy. Spoke a few times today to Colin, and to be honest, they've all been quite relaxed because they had no idea if they were going to be racing. And they found out very, very late indeed. And again, there is Thiago Vivacqua, third in the championship. We'll start third on your grid for Haida Motorsport, the Brazilian. Well, looking to go a little bit better than Felipe Fraga earlier on, who unfortunately had an incident at the start of the DTM race, or at the front of the DTM race, and did not finish the race. The man of the hour, 17-year-old Theo Uverhaus, the youngest ever DTM Trophy winner, the youngest ever DTM driver. Double duty this weekend, just finished P19 overall in a DTM race. Of course, had to start from the back of the grid because he hasn't raced before. So he is last in the DTM Championship. And yeah, he managed to finish in P19 and then straight into his BMW in the trophy for this race. He starts in P4 and, well, Theo will be the first to admit his qualifying isn't really his strength, but has a massive opportunity here to potentially get a good result. He actually starts P3, should I say. So Vivacqua starts in P4. We are now on board with Almeida. So Almeida will start in P6. The camera here panning across cars in the opposite order. So Henkefend will start in P5. For the Project One team as well. Very, very calm. Had a few chats with him this weekend as well. Really opening up, the whole grid really opening up as drivers, as personalities. And then it's an all-speed monkeys, well, fourth row. There's Nick Hanke. I was very scared last night because I was going around the Nordschleife with him, and he pushed a BMW Alpina, well, not maybe to the limit, but for me to the limit. And, well, it was very interesting to say the least. So, again, thank you to Nick for those memories. I'll never forget. There's Jacob Riegel, who was fastest in free practice 2 yesterday, so has a bit of pedigree here. Looked very, very quick indeed. And then next, well, indeed, not 9th position, but will be 10th. There's Ricky Capo. And I feel like, and I predicted this yesterday, that the Porsche has some serious pace this weekend around the Nürburgring sprint variant. Moritz Lohner will then start in P9. And he took me around the Nordschleife last night as well. And if you go to DTM's Instagram, you will see that there's a video of me making some very strange noises indeed, because it was very exhilarating to say the least. Sophie Hoffman then will start in P12 on the right-hand side of the grid. And the fun fact is, Sophie Hoffman will not put her gloves on until the 3-minute board comes out on circuit. So yeah, nice little fact for you. Jordan Wallace will start in P11, 11th in the championship. Again, he'll be the first to admit that he did not start this championship very strong, but with the guidance of the team and Ben Green specifically, has really improved across this season. And now looking for one more result to get himself into that top 10. Daniel Gregor, who was fastest in free practice number 1 yesterday, will now start down the order here because he's just obviously missed 2 races at Imola with the crash in free practice 1 there, and will be in 14th position overall. But again, I feel like this car specifically has a huge chance of going through the order. Let's see how clean the race is as well. Eduard Kauhalper then in that number 18 BWT Muka Motorsport. He starts down in 13th position. And he'll be on the left-hand side of the grid and the inside line as they come down in towards turn number 1. Then it's Papadopoulos, who could not make the Nürburgring because of other commitments. He's back, but he will start in P16 on the grid there in his AMG. And he's got a different car this time out around as well. He's got 2 cars. He's representing 2 different series this year. And as we've got a real fast and frantic end to the season here at DTM, he's got a separate car that he will indeed be using for DTM Trophy. And there is Mark De Fulgencio, who will start in P15 in the medium-marked FK Performance Motorsport car. So that is your grid here, ladies and gentlemen. Should prove to be a very, very exciting race here. And people are going to be taking chances. People are out of position here as well, because it is indeed the championship standings. Certain drivers who did not have a good start to the season but have found form over the last couple of weeks, well, they're a little bit further back, so expect fireworks. There's also some wet patches on the circuit where it's not fully dry. If you go offline here, the track is very green as well, because not only have we had fog today, I wouldn't say it's rained at all, but the clouds have just produced water all over the circuit. So it was very, very wet, and I was on the grid for a fair couple of hours earlier on, and there is very little grip at all. So the track is in a green state, even though we have indeed had DTM racing here already. So expect anything, expect everything. That's pretty much the motto of the DTM Trophy anyway, but racing late in the evening, which has never, ever happened. This could be one of the best, maybe a classic race in the DTM Trophy history. What can Theo Overhaus do? Has he expended all that energy by racing in the DTM today? Remember, he broke Pascal Wehrlein's record today by being the youngest driver to ever participate in DTM. 17 years old. 2 race wins in the DTM Trophy so far. He also raced in the Spa 24-hour merely weeks ago. It's an incredible year for him. Can he potentially add to it by getting a huge result? If he goes out and wins this race, if he can get ahead of Colin Karasani and Tim Heinemann, he could make it a 3-way battle for this title. But his 2 championship rivals are literally the front row, of course. So yeah, anything can go here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can absolutely let me know where you're watching from around the world as well. So I am looking at the YouTube chat. If you want to indeed ask some questions during the formation lap, ask away. But yes, let me know who you're watching, where you're watching from around the world, and indeed who you are watching or supporting. Maybe you're not supporting anybody. This is a perfect chance for you to pick your favorite driver as well. There are going to be 2 races this weekend, pending any fog coming into the question tomorrow. Hopefully it's nice and clear all day and we get a proper day's racing. But yeah, there are 2 rounds before we head to Spa for 2 weeks' time. And then after Spa, 2 weeks after that, we head to the Red Bull Ring, and then the finale, which will be at the Hockenheim Ring. It is fast and frantic. The next couple of months will decide our 3rd season champion. And I feel like this weekend is going to be pivotal in that. Can Theo Overhaus and maybe Thiago Vavakwa in an Audi get ahead of Tim Heinemann and Colin Karasani to potentially make it a 3-4-way battle? Could Henkefend maybe get involved here as well? Maybe Almeida could get involved as well. Who knows? Well, super interesting here then. As we got the 2-minute board has indeed been put out. You'll see the 1-minute board come out, then the 30-second board there. Oh, that's great board waving. You've got to say, look at this, look at the walk as well. You've got the bum bag being moved along nicely there as well. It's really good stuff. Giving that at least a 7 out of 10 there for the 1-minute board walker. And then as soon as he gets halfway along the grid, the 30-second one will come out. And, well, a lot to live up to for the second one to make his way down the order. Oh, who will indeed be on the podium here for race number 1 of the weekend? Colin Karasani currently leads the championship by 1 point to Tim Heinemann, who's on 98. So 99 and 98 points. Of course, Tim Heinemann, the most winningest driver in DTM Trophy history, the most points ever scored, the most races. Actually, he will tie Ben Green this week for the most races entered. He's on 24 currently. Ben Green had participated in 26, of course, being champion last season. Theo Overhaus is on 76 points, so he's 23 points behind Colin right now. Needs to get ahead of them, the two drivers in front of him, to put some pressure on and potentially make a championship run here. Very similarly, could be said for Thiago Vivacqua. Showed some serious pace this season, but just hasn't managed to get the race results to back it up. Can he be consistent here over the course of a 30+1 lap race? It's a formation lap here then, and we are nearly ready to indeed get ourselves underway. Project 1, Colin Karasani will indeed start off on pole position. Tim Heinemann for Toyota Gazoo Racing Germany, powered by Ring Racing, the longest team name in the history of motorsport, will start in second spot. Theo Overhaus for Volkenhorst Motorsport, double duty, just got out the DTM GT3 car, and well, now he heads into the trophy car here in P3. Then got Vivacqua in fourth position for Haida Motorsport. Henkefend and Almeida are in fifth and sixth. Regal and Hanka, teammates for Speed Monkeys, are in seventh and eighth position. We've then got Moritz Lohner and Ricky Capo in ninth and 10th, and they've already had it coming together this season at the Lausitzring in race number 2 of the season. So potential fireworks there in the offering. Jordan Wallace then in 11th with Sophie Hoffman in a 12th position. Then we've got Eduard Kauhalper and Daniel Gregor in 13th and 14th position. Fulgencio and Papadopoulos will indeed round out your grid. 30 minutes of exciting racing, that is for sure. As you see the grandstand there, Sophie Hoffman is off the circuit here. I'm not too sure what's happened. Again, there are some wet patches on this circuit, and if you get offline, even on a formation lap, you can be in all sorts of trouble there. Yeah, the track very, very green, just lights the rears up. And that right rear is going to be in trouble from the offset here. And I will say one thing, they have not had qualifying on these tyres. So they are a brand new, fresh set of tyres. This will be the first time for any of them to start a race on a brand new, fresh set of tyres. 30 minutes plus 1 lap. What that means is once the clock hits 0, when they cross the line with the clock saying 0, they then still have 1 more lap to go. So hopefully that indeed does sort things out for you. Anderson Augusto from Brazil, welcome to the broadcast. To anyone watching around the world on television, you can indeed tweet me at ActRollVision as well, or indeed send me a message on Instagram, as we are indeed closing up to the start of this race. There we go, rounding that final corner. It is Colin Karasani in the BMW then to the right-hand side of your screen now as they go around that final corner. Tim Heinemann, and we know how aggressive Tim can be. They're going to be waiting for the green lights here. Are we going to see any positions gained here? We are. Green light racing has gone early here. And well, I tell you what, Thiago Vivacqua's got an absolute flyer. He's going to go all the way around the outside. And will he hold on to this lead? Oh, he's going to be completely clear going down to turn number 1. We'll have the best line going through turn number 1. Karasani under all sorts of pressure here. Heinemann and him go through there side by side. And Vivacqua has completely lost his breaking point there. He's run wide then. Well, Theo Overhaus, it might be all of his birthdays and Christmases rolled into one as Tim Heinemann nearly spins Colin Karasani. Vivacqua has indeed kind of sorted out a little bit, holds on to that P3. He's now the meat in the sandwich with, off the circuit we go for Theo Overhaus. He gets ushered out wide. And now look at that. We've got Daniel Gregor running up the order here. So how's Daniel Gregor managed to get himself up that high of the order? Ricky Capo, the misfortune continues here because the car's leaking fluid all over the place then as we come through turn number 5. Heinemann trying to find a gap there. Argy-bargy between the two of them. I think Tim will indeed now lead this race. He does. Colin Karasani not able to come back at him here. And Vivacqua back into P3. Henkefend up to 4th position. And while Overhaus, who looked like he might take the lead, is now down into 5th spot. Ricky Capo, though, has just leaked fluid all over the show. And I'm wondering what kind of fluid that might be and as to whether we might indeed have a safety car here. But the misfortune just will not end for Ricky Capo, and he genuinely looked like he had some serious pace this weekend, and it's all going to come down to tomorrow effectively. Tim Heinemann, though, as we come then through the final chicane up towards that final corner, he leads the race, the elder statesman of the grid, still a very young man, but ultimately has the most experience here as Theo Overhaus has to go defensive on Daniel Gregor in that Porsche, losing more time here. Henkefend pushing Thiago Vivacqua through that final corner. And wow, as they sort themselves out then, Heinemann has got a lovely little lead here to work with Daniel Gregor. Look at the pace advantage there of the Porsche down the back straight. He's going to get ahead then of Theo Overhaus, then off to chase down potentially Lewis Henkefend. Although Overhaus late on the brakes here. Moritz Lohner going around the outside. Overhaus is going to run a little bit wide here, but should get the power down nicely. And Gregor will have the outside line through turn number 2. Pinning it onto the curb then is Overhaus. He's going to get best of lines through turn number 3 here. And Daniel Gregor, can he hang around the outside? No grip on the curbs here for sure. They're going to be super green, but I tell you what, he's got the overlap then, and through 4 they come. Daniel Gregor take a bow. That's delicious. Bit of driving there. Well, he sends Uverhaus off the circuit. Bit of gravel being used there, and I tell you what, this is not over at all. Down towards turn 5, and they will be going through there side by side. And well, we're going to see a little bit of contact in the background there. Looks like Capo had a bit of contact with Jacob Riegel in the background then. We're going to see this once again. Yeah, Hanke has gone through the inside. No, there was no contact. Sophie Hoffman, was this the formation lap? No, this was it's twice. Same corner, Hoffman is off the circuit. I'm not too sure whether there was contact with anybody there, as we didn't quite see that. As we then head back to, the lead of the race with Tim Heinemann. Carasani under all sorts of pressure from the Brazilian of Vivacqua. Vivacqua then decides better of going for the move. And, well, he has got Project One's driver in front and in behind him right now with Carasani and Henkefen. Ricky Capo's in the pits. His race is absolutely done and dusted here. And you just got to feel for him, really. His engine seized up at the Nürburgring on the Friday, and that was it. Saturday, Sunday, no races for him. Daniel Gregor the rounds before at Imola, and you just got to feel for the team at this point. Christine Bernard are just having a real bad run of form, unfortunately. Bad luck, should we say. As Thiago Vivacqua sends one at the inside then of Carasani. He's going to run Carasani wide. And, well, you know that Heinemann's going to be looking in his rearview mirror thinking, this is brilliant, lads. You just carry on doing that, and I can just drive away in this race. No problem whatsoever. And, of course, Heinemann 1 point behind Carasani. This would give him the championship lead, and it would be the 3rd time we've had a championship lead change. Daniel Gregor still hanging onto the back of this pack here. Lewis Henkefen is going to have to defend as they come then down in towards turn number 5. Of course, the sprint variant here. Normally, for the GP layout, you just keep going and turn left. And this corner is so difficult. It's off camber, then you've got a massive dip in the middle of the corner as well, and you've got to kind of take a diamond apex. You've got to run the car out nice and wide, mid-corner, and then cut back onto the apex. But ultimately, you can also leave the door open for someone as well. So you've got to be really careful. Heinemann, though, absolutely streaking away here with Vivacqua still in 2nd position. Vivacqua currently 4th in this championship, needs to really make some inroads on Heinemann, needs to get ahead of Heinemann really and just try and indeed grab as many points as he possibly can, as Daniel Gregor then tries to go around the outside through the chicane and wasn't quite able to make anything of that. Henkefen's going to lose time as well, but Henkefen's really slow out of that corner. He's going to have to go defensive into the final turn. And he's just about going to hold on. Hemorrhaging time, though, the both of them. The front 3 now able to just streak away as well. And well, you can see the 2 BWT Muka Motorsport cars, the pink cars, they are now charging through as well. Here is a replay of the start. Thiago Vivacqua, well, he did absolutely everything right here. Opens up, goes out far left, goes round P1 and P2. Got the speed advantage as well. And then just bottles it in under braking. There's a massive bump there on the going into turn number 1 on the far left-hand side of the circuit. And if you miss it by half a metre, unfortunately, you're just not going to brake. It's as simple as that. So already the damage had been done here for Capo. I'm not sure exactly what had happened, but here's the battle for P2. You'd think this is the battle for the lead of the race. It's not. Heinemann is 2.2 seconds down the road. So, yeah, the Toyota driver absolutely loving the Nürburgring as it stands. Qualified P7 in the Nürburgring 24-hour a couple of months ago, actually. Did Tim Heinemann. So lots of experience around not only this circuit, but the full green hell. And, well, true to form, absolutely dominating this race, even under a bit of pressure with 3, 4, maybe even 5 cars at the start of this race. Yeah, just weathered the storm and managed to keep hold of the lead here. So 24 minutes remain on the clock here. Still Heinemann leading here. Vivacqua in 2nd position, and Vivacqua kind of needs to get at least a half a second gap here as the lights are being flashed, I think, by Carasani. I think he knows you're there. You don't have to flash your lights unless you're just saying hello. Very polite of you. But yeah, Heinemann being given a massive opportunity just to drive away, and with Daniel Gregor looking very racy indeed in the background, looking to try and get himself onto that podium as well. This just spells a lot of trouble for everybody trying to move up the order to try and get into the lead here. There's Moritz Lohner, who is in behind Dia Uverhaus. And then you've got the number 19 of Almeida, and then Cal Halper in P9. Riegel is in 10th spot, then Fulgencio from right at the back here, actually, from P15 is up to P11. We've got Hanke down to P12, and yeah, not the greatest of starts here, unfortunately, for Nick Hanke. Papadopoulos has moved up from 16th to 13th, so a good start. Wallace has dropped down here. He's in P14. Hoffman, of course, who we saw spin down into towards turn number 5, or in turn number 5 there, down in 15th position. And then Ricky Capo, it's a DNF again, unfortunately, now being 3 laps behind. Heineman's still leading here, and, well, Vavakwa has now got a bit of a gap to work with here and has closed that gap by maybe 0.2 of a second. But the quickest driver out there is Daniel Gregor. On a previous lap, he got the fastest lap of 35.383. And while he went purple, sector 1 and sector 2, and green in sector number 3. So he is absolutely flying. And, well, we know if Daniel Gregor sees a gap, he's absolutely going to go for it. Heineman will be loving this as well, because any positions that Karasani loses means that indeed he gains a championship advantage. Again, there's the fluid there, and, well, you can tell by that steam that it is very, very hot indeed. And, well, Daniel Gregor looks to try and fake a move there. Karasani does not fall for it, does not go defensive there, and absolutely maximises the chicane. Although it looks like he was in a little bit of trouble through the mid part of that corner. Still not lost a position though, so he is all good. And the gap is still coming down then to Vavakwa. 2.1 seconds now behind Heineman. With 21 minutes 50 seconds to go, he might be able to catch up to the lead. But can he drag Karasani along? Can he drag Daniel Gregor along? You see a little bit of gravel being kicked up there by Moritz Lohner. And now the gap's even coming down further. 1/10 of a second gained here by Vavakwa. As you can see the front left disc of Karasani's car there, almost on fire. Absolutely warm for sure. Well, if you've got cold hands at the end, you just go and rub them up against that later on. It's going to be super, super warm. Lovely track conditions here for racing as well. Like, the track temperature is as low as they will have all season. I'm pretty sure we won't have them lower than this unless we have a wet race, I would say. So you can really go flat out here. Of course, no qualifying laps on the tyres as well. They are all on brand new, fresh sets of tyres. So it's just go for it here. You're not going to have to use these tyres again for a qualifying or a race session, so absolutely go for it. As Theo Uverhaus struggling here, Moritz Lohner right up and behind him, a two-way BMW fight. And then you've got the 2 AMGs behind as we see another sensational camera shot here with the DTM Trophy. Daniel Gregor trying to find a bit of room to manoeuvre on Karasani. Tim Heineman, no still leads, but the gap's now to 1.8 seconds here. Remember, Vavakwa, 4th in the championship right now, is ahead of Theo Uverhaus. He's ahead of Colin Karasani. Colin Karasani is about to lose another spot here as Daniel Gregor makes the move, runs wide though on the exit of the chicane, bounces over the exit of the chicane. Colin Karasani says, "Not today, sir," retakes that podium position. And yeah, maybe a little overzealous there from Gregor, and he needs to be careful here because he wants to really be dragged along by Vavakwa. Vavakwa has gained about 0.3 of a second on the lead this lap, but also he's now got himself about a second advantage, well now even more so, nearly 2 seconds advantage over Karasani. So this is working really well for the Brazilian, and he actually just produced the fastest first sector out of everybody on the last lap there. As Daniel Gregor shows his nose in towards turn number 1, forces Karasani to run wide here. Just being a bit more patient here. I like this from Gregor. He made a mistake through that final chicane, but he's looking like he's learning from it already. But look at Henkefend. Henkefend is absolutely going to take full advantage here as Karasani is forced into a mistake there by Gregor. Gregor's got the outside line here. Will he keep the overlap though? So easy to run a car wide through there. He will grab a bit of gravel and actually keeps it back onto the AstroTurf. And then you've got Henkefend, who is so close here. Of course, race winner out at the Nürburgring, and I spoke to him earlier on, and he's like, "Oh yeah, but people got penalties, and like these young drivers just don't want to celebrate winning." Like I was telling him, you want a race, it's so difficult to win a race in the DTM Trophy, and you've managed to do it as Gregor sends one up the inside as we head onto the back straight here with the kink, and he's still not got it done. Colin Karasani's incredible defense there, left the door open and, well, backed himself on the exit of that corner. But as we now do the long jaunt up towards that final chicane, we're heading towards the halfway point of this race. Gregor thinks better off sending it this time around, but look at the train of 4 cars in behind as well. And this battle for P3 is currently 3 cars, but I tell you what, very close to being 7 as Gregor now finds the overlap, now finds that inside line. He's going to run ever so slightly wide, but I'm just not sure there's any gap there for Karasani to work with. There is not a gap to work with there. And indeed, Gregor for Kusti and Bernard moves up into that podium position. And, well, maybe there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel here for the team. They do deserve a bit of luck. And, well, Daniel Gregor, he may have forced himself an opportunity, but he found it and he took it. Fair play to him. The young Frenchman does indeed move into that podium position, as you see there. The 2 Pink Panthers trying their level best to find a move here on Moritz Lohner. Moritz Lohner is going to try and make that BMW as wide as he possibly can. The gap now, by the way, between the leader and P2 has come out, so Heineman has obviously been looking after his tyres here, because he's found an extra couple of tenths and actually went the fastest out of everybody so far this race. A 35.314. Heinemann fastest lap and leading the race. Although Vivacqua still indeed went purple through sector number 1 once again. A bit of a mistake there from Daniel Gregor. Runs a bit wide, but here's the replay then. So Karasani, well, just leaves a door open there. Doesn't think anything of it. And, well, that's actually the one where Gregor just bounces over the curb and Karasani regains the position. So, yeah, that was the first attempt. As you can see, it didn't quite work out there. Karasani defending brilliantly well. And, again, he just backed his ability. He knew where his braking point was every single time. And, well, Gregor didn't that time. But we know, of course, that in the end, it did come down to the final corner. He was a bit more patient this time round. Didn't try and send one up the inside through the chicane. Got a really good exit of the chicane. Runs up to the final corner. Sends one up the inside and really doesn't lose too much time here, as we see a potential move then being made by Almeida. It's not a potential move at all. It's a guaranteed move. Moritz Lohner then has been mugged there for sure. And the Pink Panthers are making their way through. Tim Heinemann leads by 2.3 seconds now. He is extending that gap. But Daniel Gregor is now just put in the fastest lap of the race himself. The only driver to hit a 134 is a 34.8. And Daniel Gregor is chasing down P2 and potentially P1. He is flying right now. So Heinemann leads, Vivacqua second, Gregor is in third, Karasani is in fourth position, championship leader coming into this race, pole position coming into this race as well, down in P4. Henkefend is in fifth position, then we've got Uberhaus in sixth, he's dropped down from P3 on the grid. We've then got Almeida, Lohner and Kauhalper with Regal in P10. Hanke, Fulgencio, Papadopoulos, Wallace and Hoffman are indeed the 15 drivers classified as it stands. Ricky Capo, unfortunately, not going to be finishing this race. But as you can see, Kauhalper is all over the back here of Moritz Lohner. This is where he lost the position last time round. And is he going to be able to hold on to it this time around? Theo Uberhaus is just dropping further and further back. And you can't blame him. He's just been... well, he's double duty. DTM and DTM Trophy, never been done before. He's got so much media attention as well by being the youngest driver to ever take part in DTM. Like, what a stressful weekend. And he's just taken it all in his stride. So, of course, this is going to be a difficult task here. Some decent points, and you think, you know what, I've had a pretty good weekend here. But I think he's going to be under some severe pressure from Almeida. Almeida very, very close in towards that final corner. For Vivacqua, by the way, has just gone and put, well, I think he's about to put in his best lap of the race, because he's just gained about 0.3 of a second. He's just done a 35.1, but what about Daniel Gregor? A 34.9, so he's a tenth off his best time, but he's quicker than everybody. And it was 4.5 seconds, it's now 3.5 seconds. So Daniel Gregor is flying, still flying, as we see there Kauhalper getting very, very close to the rear of Moritz Lohner. Almeida here opening up turn number 2 to try and get a nice run down the hill. I think he opened up a little bit too much there, ran a little bit too wide. Uberhaus will defend that relatively easy, although he's going to run wide here. A little bit of a mistake. You can see the AMGs there trying to use the inner of that curb on the left-hand side to help rotate the car. High risk, high reward, especially with how much water we've had on circuit today. It's so easy to lose the rear, lose traction through there, but yeah, if you want to gain some positions, you've got to take chances. Uberhaus running ever so slightly wide once again. Really just dangling a carrot now to Almeida. Almeida would love to get up into a top 5. Really has started to find some race pace. I've been saying all season long that the BWT Muka Motorsport drivers, they have got such good pace when it comes to qualifying, but they fall back at the start of races. And then at the end, in the last sort of 10 minutes, they are normally the quicker drivers out on track. You see Uberhaus get the rear stuck out ever so slightly. We've also got part of Almeida's car dragging across the floor as well, and we want to hope that that's not too big of a part, and there's the potential of a meatball flag here as well. And there you go, you can see that the two AMGs utilising the inside of that curb to get the car rotated. You see that quite a lot in the DTM, but not so much in the Trophy. Anyway, back to live pictures now. Uberhaus still holding on to that P6 as it stands. Vivacqua is closing the gap once again. 1.8 seconds now is the advantage, but he is being caught up by Daniel Gregor. So I think Gregor is going to catch Vivacqua before Vivacqua catches up to Heinemann. But Heinemann also has the knack of being able to save tyres. He's able to just chill out for a couple of laps and then set a blistering time. So I'm expecting that to be the case for Heinemann as well. Hopefully everybody at home on YouTube is enjoying this. If you're watching around the world on television as well. Yeah, what a sensational... It's just nice that we're able to have the race here as we see it move then up the inside of Uverhaus. Going to send Uverhaus into the gravel here as well. And he wasn't forced out onto the gravel there. He just opened up his steering as we see contact as we come down in towards turn number 5. And I tell you what, he's going to hold on to it, isn't he? Almeida does make the move stick there. That so easily could have been... We could have been a hood ornament there on the BMW, but he's not. He makes the move stick. It's brilliant from him. And now he wants to hope his teammate can try and get through as well. And that is indeed a P6 for BWT Muka Motorsport. Almeida getting the job done. And, well, as you can see here, they both run so wide there. It's one of those corners where everybody runs wide. To be fair, I think Moritz Lohner may have lost a position as well. Yes, he has. So, well, Moritz Lohner was looking to try and get involved, actually, should I say, on Cowhalper, but hasn't. So, yeah, incredible scenes here. Look at this. You can see there what Almeida's trying to do. He's trying to go left, but maybe didn't realise that there was still an overlap on Uverhaus, as Uverhaus is now dropping further and further back. Gap to the lead, then 1.9 seconds, and the best part of 2 seconds. As Tim Heinemann has just done exactly what I thought he was going to do. A couple of laps where he gets the tyres back into a decent range and then flies and grabs one of the faster laps of the day. Although it's a 35.3. Still the fastest on track is Daniel Gregor. Daniel Gregor is closing that gap as Uverhaus runs wide again here. Cowhalper looking to try and follow his teammate through. And Uverhaus made a mistake on the curb last time round here. He ran a little bit too far wide. He's left the door open actually here. Cowhalper is going to say, thank you very much. I will have that. Uverhaus is then going to go as far left as he possibly can, try and open up turn number 4, and then maybe try and get himself an undercut down in towards turn number 5. But straight away, Cowhalper moves over to the right-hand side, will defend this position, and Moritz Lohner then will be licking his lips because there's a potential opportunity of 2 positions here. Brilliant stuff, though, from all of drivers concerned, and Cowhalper moves up the order. So the pink cars are indeed, again, in the second half of a race, really showcasing their skill set, showcasing their pace. 10 minutes to go then. So we are 2/3 of the way through this race very nearly, and it's still 1.8 seconds the advantage for Tim Heinemann. Vivacqua is now 2 seconds. We've then got Daniel Gregor, who is closing the gap at 0.7 of a second now between Gregor and Vivacqua. And this is brilliant for Heinemann. So Heinemann will see that in his rearview mirror and think, well, they're going to start battling before they get anywhere near me. And, well, job is all but done because we just know how good he is. He's the most winningest driver. He's got the most points. He won season number 1. He dominated season number 1. And, well, as it goes right now, he's going to take the championship lead here in season number 3. As we see 2 BMWs going at it here. Can Moritz Lohner find something down in towards turn number 1? One thing that you don't expect is anyone to outbrake Theo Uverhaus because he's so good on the brakes. But look at this. Moritz Lohner says, what you can do, I can do better. He's got a lovely run up the inside here. Will indeed be on the outside through turn number 2. Will be on the high side as well. So you just lose grip, lose traction. Uverhaus doing his level best to try and hold on. He would squeeze Lohner there. But Lohner indeed being using his experience now. Again, this would have been a potential bit of contact, I would say, in season number 1. But really has grown into this racing driver role and understands that he's just not going to get as much room as you would do on the PC. As he's always stated, he says that real-life racing is more brutal than sim racing, but proving that he can do both very well indeed. So we're seeing a replay here. This is where Uverhaus lost the position to the second of the BWT Muka Motorsport cars. Had already lost the position to Almeida, and then Cowhalper with a block pass there. It's a really nice block pass, actually. Holds on to the position, but you just see runs out far too wide there. Door left open, and just nothing you can do. You know that every day of the week and twice on Sundays there, Cowhalper's always going to run wide because he's sending one up the inside. When you leave that kind of room, unfortunately, you're going to lose the position. Here's Moritz Lohner then trying to gain the spot here. And really good composure from Uverhaus because he quite easily could have given that up. And he's going to have very little energy at this time of the day because not only has he done double duty, but the fact is, it's right now nearly 7:30 in the evening. And he would have been preparing for qualifying this morning around about 8:30. So it's a long old day. He's only young and he's just being brilliant. It's just been absolutely brilliant. It's just maybe a little bit too much in terms of the schedule today as he drops a little bit further back. Henkefen, we just saw in the background, is in P5. But look at this. Daniel Gregor has caught up to the back then of Thiago Vivacqua. Toyota P1. Audi P2. As we see here, Uverhaus, well, he has lost a position to Moritz Lohner, but look who's also coming through here as well. Jacob Riegel trying to get involved as we come then through turn number 3. Side by side, Uverhaus loses the rear of the car, trying to light the wheels, trying to get the car rotated, but also get the power down. He's going to completely run wide then through turn number 4, down towards 5, and I think Riegel will have this position. He will at least have the inside line. Uverhaus, he's going to be hung out to dry here for sure. No way he can keep hold of this, is there? Oh, it's special from Uverhaus. He is going to hold on to this position, has that inside line, squeezes Riegel out onto the AstroTurf, and does indeed stay in P9. But Moritz Lohner, you can see how much time he's gained there. They lost maybe half a second by being side by side like that with 7.5 minutes to go. Of course, you're going to be fighting for every position possible. As we do see a change for P2 then. So Vivacqua has lost out to Daniel Gregor, and with 7 minutes 40 seconds to go here, how much pace does Daniel Gregor have? Is he going to be able to find some lightning lap times here at the end of this race and maybe potentially drag Vivacqua along and challenge Tim Heinemann? This could be a very interesting finale indeed. And remember, Daniel Gregor started down in P12. P12, ladies and gentlemen, and he's currently in P2. Phenomenal race so far from the young man. Vivacqua, well, we're about to see here exactly how Moritz Lohner got the job done on to, well, you can see that he's just done the perfect block pass there. He's forced Uverhaus to be on the outside line on the exit of indeed turn number 1. And it's a case of, yep, I've got the line. Thank you very much. Oh, he runs so deep there. It's very, very clever, actually, from Uverhaus to not have contact. But as they come through turn number 2, you've got to say that is a Nürburgring turn 1 pass. And then you see Uverhaus runs wide there, gives the opportunity for Jacob Riegel. And while Jacob Riegel never managed to indeed complete the move. 3 seconds now the advantage for Heinemann. So the overtake did through the chicane, of course, has cost Daniel Gregor and indeed Vivacqua a load of time here. So 3 seconds to be caught up in 6.5 minutes plus 1 lap. Very, very difficult. But if you've gone from P12 to P2, you're absolutely going to be looking to get one more position. That's for sure. The long run then up towards that final chicane. It is Heinemann that still leads here. Gregor and Vivacqua. Karasani's been dropped here as well. He's currently leader of the championship going into this race, but he will not be the leader of the championship coming out of this race. He will be in 2nd position. Henkefend in P5. Almeida is in P6. And I tell you what, I think Almeida might be looking for a top 5 here as well. Henkefend gets, well, hung out to dry for sure on the outside line, just doesn't get the power down. And well, there's a little bit of argy-bargy between the two there. Was it a case of a turn in too early for Henkefend, or was it indeed potentially Almeida squeezing Henkefend out? We'd have to see that once again, but I tell you, one driver who doesn't care one bit is Kouhalper. He's got one position, he's got up ahead of Henkefend, but can he get his teammate as well? He's got that inside line. He's also indeed miles ahead here. Henkefend's trying to keep hold of the position on Almeida, or retake the position, should I say. Almeida's now going to be on the outside, and Kouhalper is being given a bit of a freebie here, an absolute freebie. As we come then through turn number 2, down towards turn number 3, Henkefend is indeed going to hang on to this spot. And well, it's changed positions here. So Almeida had been ahead of his teammate through the entirety of this race. But as we come to this point, he loses 2 positions in one fell swoop. And wow, Kouhalper has just gained himself one position, and well, 2 if you include the move then on Henkefend. Great stuff from these 3 drivers. Maybe a bit of aggressiveness through that final corner. Yeah, this is exactly what you're expecting to see here. These have all been chomping at the bit. At one stage of the day, they were just thinking, there's no chance of us being able to race. And then at 5 p.m., it was a case of, oh, we're racing. So then they've got to G themselves up once again. They've got to get themselves that adrenaline as well, of course, which, you know, naturally comes. But once you've already expended that, it's very difficult to get to that same level again. Lead, by the way, with 4 minutes 30 seconds to go. It's about 2.7 seconds. Vivacqua's been completely dropped here by Gregor. I don't think there's enough laps left in this race, really, for Gregor to indeed be able to chase down the race leader. Fulgencio, who started right at the back, P15, he's currently in P10 as well, so that's a really good thing for him. Papadopoulos and Uverhaus are having a ding-dong there, battling for 11th and 12th position. But here we go, we're having a little bit of a replay of Daniel Gregor. But this is the 3-way battle then, wasn't it? Oh, there's a massive bit of argy-bargy. I don't know, I'm pretty sure that's a racing incident if I've ever seen one before. Yes, it was aggressive, but that's exactly what we want to see from these drivers, although it looks like we've got a safety car here. Why have we got a safety car? So I've not seen exactly what's going on, but the safety car is out here. Oh, well, that's why then. So that's Jacob Riegel. The number 63 is in the wall, and that is big smoke. It's another misfortune. That car is on fire as well, so that's, yeah, Marshall straight away, no problem. Great work there. Regal's out the car. He's furious. You can tell he's furious there. But I tell you what, you've got to tip your hat to the marshal. No time being wasted at all. Reactions there, superb. Straight to where the issue is. And that marshal might have just saved Regal's weekend. Might be able to race tomorrow because of that. Fair play. But what has happened here? What has happened here? I'm sure we're going to get a replay. Here is the safety car. And well, what's happened to Heinemann? Why is Heinemann down in P8 here? P9. So Heinemann's dropped all the way down here as well. Right now, Karasani, well, no, hold on. There is no changes here. I think there might have been a timing bug, actually. So Heinemann does lead. Yeah, it will be Daniel Gregor that is still in second. Vivacqua in third. But we saw the start of this race with Vivacqua in his pace was incredible. No one could really match it. Has he got the opportunity to do this once again? Heinemann will indeed start this restart at the front. Gregor will be in second position, but Vivacqua, how quick is it going to be? That's the big question here. Karasani then will be in P4, of course. A second bite of the cherry here. Came in as championship leader. Could he potentially get involved with the battle for the lead here as well? Maybe still be championship leader going into tomorrow. Cowhelper, of course, we know has some serious pace at the end of races. He's in P5. Henkevend is in P6. Almeida in P7. Lona in 8th position. Then we've got Hanka and Fulgencio as your top 10s. We do have a safety car here. The Speed Monkeys driver of Jacob Regal. He's all good. There was a fire in a car that seems to have been put out. Now they've got to get the car indeed off the track and put into a safe position. As you can see, the bonnet has been popped there. And poor Jacob Regal, really. If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. And he's getting in the car. I think he's going to be towed away with the car here. And yeah, the emotions are going to be strong with him. You know, it's a long day. It's not a case of, you know, even on a normal time, if this was a 3 p.m. race start, you know, it's a normal schedule, you're still going to be gutted in this situation. But the fact that you've waited all day, you've been told it's not going to happen, really. You're not going to be racing at all. DTM cars were on the grid for maybe 5 hours today. And then to be told really late in the day, yes, you are racing. And then for it to be like this, you've just got to feel for him. You've just got to feel for him for sure. So everybody watching at home, you can get yourselves involved in the YouTube chat. If you're watching on television as well, you can also tweet me at ActrolVision and indeed on Instagram as well if you would like. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know who you're supporting as well. But we've got ourselves 50 seconds left of this race with the safety car on the track. So the safety car is indeed on the circuit. And normally when we have a safety car, we do indeed have an extension of laps. But whether or not that is the case today, because of course we're under massive time constraints because of the fog we've had all day here at the Nürburgring. So it's a bit of an unknown. It's a bit of an unknown for everybody who's concerned of this race. But all I know right now is that Heinemann leads the way. Daniel Gregor, I didn't think he had enough time to challenge for a race victory here, but has he been given a lifeline with the safety car? Vivacqua, who started this race in P4, managed to get into the lead momentarily, but outbroke himself into turn number 1. Does he have the capabilities again with the Audi that doesn't tend to be good with race starts? But today, maybe a little bit different. So anything can indeed happen here, can go down. As you can see, the car is about to be towed away, and I'm wondering whether we might be restarting this race or not. So of course, we'll wait for the race director to let us know. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this race, because I certainly have. It's just nice that we've been able to have the races, to be fair, because, yeah, earlier on in the day, it just didn't look like the fog was ever going to clear. It's weather I've never seen before. And all the locals have just been going, that's the Eiffel for you. That doesn't explain it to me. My brain can't comprehend. I'm from the UK, where rain is our summer. I can't comprehend what I've seen today. It's ridiculous. So we have just had it confirmed that we will be finishing under the safety car. So yeah, Tim Heinemann will be taking victory here for race number 1 of the weekend. Remember, we still have a race tomorrow. We have hopefully qualifying and a race tomorrow. So yeah, as we head then towards the final corner of the lap, Tim Heinemann in the lead, Gregor then in second position, with Vivacqua in third spot, then Karasani is in fourth. So we will have one more lap remaining of this race, but it will finish under safety car here. So Tim Heinemann, who did all the hard work earlier in this race, will take a very well-deserved victory. Daniel Gregor, I don't think, even without the safety car, I don't think Gregor was going to quite catch Heinemann, to be fair, although he did show some serious pace to go from P12, by the way, on the grid, to P2. Vivacqua will be on the podium once again, and I think that's 4 podiums for him this season. Karasani in P4. He's going to lose a championship lead, but it's still a good result. It is a really good result. Then we've got Cal Halper, who is going to finish in the top 5. Henkefend is going to finish in P6. Almeida in 7th position. Lona in 8th spot. Then Hanke in 9th. Fulgencio does get a top 10. Uverhaus, yeah, it's been a tough weekend for him, but you cannot understate how amazingly well he's done and how amazing he has done in terms of flying the flag for the DTM Trophy. So a lot of respect needs to go his way. Papadopoulos in P12, and then we've got Jordan Wallace in 13th and Hoffman in 14th position. Regal and Capo will be 2 DNFs, unfortunately. So yeah, Tim Heinemann, back to winning ways, as we've come to expect from him, of course. In season number 1 of the DTM Trophy in 2020, was a dominant winner, won the first 6 rounds of that season. He's the most winningest driver, he's scored the most points in history. Tomorrow, if he takes part in the race, which I'm pretty sure he will do, he will be tied with Ben Green for the most DTM Trophy appearances as well, with 26 races. But he is well onto his way to potentially winning a 2nd DTM Trophy championship. And the big difference between season 1 and season 3 is that he is so much more relaxed this season. He actually smiles, believe it or not. Tim Heinemann smiling? I know, it's hard to believe. He's got everything to smile for today, that's for sure. Round that final corner, they will indeed go, and it will be the checkered flag dropped for Tim Heinemann. He will pick up another victory this season. Daniel Gregor, with driver of the day for sure, will be P2. Vivacqua will finish on the podium then in P3. Karasani in 4th position. Cal Halper does take that top 5. Henkefend in 6th. Almeida 7th. We've then got Lona. We've got Hanke and Fulgencio that will score points during this race. But again, there is Tim, and he's trying to drift the car there onto the AstroTurf. That's cheating, Tim. That is cheating. You've got to use the tarmac. And well, you can see that the podium will be sent around the circuit. The rest of the cars then will indeed brake to the right and head to the pits. But I tell you what, we've got to talk about it. Daniel Gregor, P12 to P2. An incredible performance from that young man. Had a lot of misfortune, as well as the team, because Team Bernard have had a lot of misfortune, but wow, incredible stuff there. As you can see, all the cars lining up then to go back through. But here's some nice slow-mo shots of Tim Heinemann. Looks like he's had some argy-bargy, but here we go. Trying to indeed drift the car. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty impressive. He's left the very long line there as well. And just Tim is in celebratory mood. This is just not what Tim was like a couple of years ago. It was very stone-faced, I'm winning every race, and this year he's just having a load of fun with it and still getting those results. Here are your official results then. Tim Heinemann is indeed your race winner. Gregor is in 2nd. Vivacqua and Karasani are 3rd and 4th position. Cal Halper, Henkefend are in 5th and 6th. Almeida and Lona are in 7th and 8th position. Hanke and Fulgencio are 9th and 10th spot. Then we've got Theo Uverhaus in P11, Papadopoulos in P12, Jordan Wallace and Hoffman are indeed 13th and 14th position, and unfortunately Regal and Capo were big DNFs. As you can see then, all lining up there. P1, P2, P3. Well, now we're about to see some big celebrations. Daniel Gregor getting out the car. And there's Tim. Such a relaxed character this season. And there's the team. Not sure exactly what he said there, but I'm sure it was all positive stuff. Daniel Gregor will take the fastest lap of the race as well, 34.816.
Thiago der tolle Start, dann ein bisschen zu spät auf der Bremse, da wäre vielleicht auch noch mehr möglich gewesen, aber da ging dann ein bisschen das brasilianische Temperament mit ihm möglicherweise durch. Ja, Tim Heinemann hat damit in der Meisterschaft wieder ganz elegant die Führung übernommen, 123 Punkte für den heutigen Sieger. Colin Caresani aus den Niederlanden, heute Vierter geworden, jetzt auf 110 Punkte, 13 Punkte Abstand. Und Rang 3 behält Theo Oberhaus mit 76 Punkten, Thiago Iwako auf 67.
So there are your championship standings. Tim Heinemann retakes the lead with 123 points. Colin Caresani on 111 is in second spot now. Overhaus in third with 76. Vivacqua is on 67. Henkefend on 57 is in fifth. And then we've got Almeida in sixth position. Tell you one thing, a great performance from Daniel Gregor, but he is not going to like what his hair is looking like right now on camera, that's for sure. Not sure he's going to be too bothered right now, but he will look back and think, yeah, my hair was in a different place that day.
Sieg in dieser Saison, wie war's?
Kam natürlich extrem schnell ran an uns. Der hätte uns bestimmt auch noch bekommen. Aber beim Restart hätten wir sicherlich Position verloren. Aber ja, egal, wir haben gewonnen und darum geht's. Und ist gut für die Meisterschaft.
Du bist ein neuer Führender der Gesamtwertung. Morgen geht's in die zweite Saisonhälfte. Was sagst du dazu?
Ja, neuer Alter. Ich meine, so soll es sein. Wir haben die Meisterschaft ja beim letzten Rennen verloren. Und ja, wir wollen die bis zum Saisonende auf jeden Fall auch nicht mehr abgeben.
Ist das heute auch so ein kleines Ausrufezeichen für die zweite Saisonhälfte jetzt?
Auf jeden Fall.
Wie sieht es morgen aus? Wieder volle Attacke?
Ja, hoffentlich genauso, aber ja, ich denke, wir waren sicherlich, wie gesagt, nicht das schnellste Auto und wenn wir in Qualifying fahren, dann werden BMW, Audi und Porsche sicherlich morgen vor uns stehen, aber ja, wir müssen morgen erstmal wieder fahren und das Rennen ist 30 Minuten lang und da kann viel passieren.
Vielen Dank, alles Gute für morgen. Ja, und apropos morgen geht es wieder live bei uns weiter ab 15:05 Uhr bei Servus TV und es soll schönes Wetter sein, zumindest kein Nebel. Ich würde mich freuen, wenn wir uns wiedersehen zum 8. DTM Trophy Rennen. Also bis morgen, tschüss und baba.
Lauf der DTM Trophy, der erste hier auf dem Nürburgring und wir starten rein mit der Siegerehrung, beginnend bei unserem Drittplatzierten. Begrüße ich aus Brasilien auf dem Podium Thiago Vivacqua. Gratulation! Porsche aus Deutschland auf der zweiten Position. Daniel Gregor, herzlichen Glückwunsch! Und da brauchen wir den Teamvertreter des siegreichen Teams. Toyota Gazoo Racing Germany, powered by Ring Racing. Riesenapplaus für Uwe Kleen. Er hat es wieder getan. Der Sieger der DTM Trophy, Lauf 7 auf dem Nürburgring aus Deutschland, heißt Tim Heinemann. Herzlichen Glückwunsch! Damit zu Ehren Tim Heinemanns und dem siegreichen Team die deutsche Nationalhymne. Ja, Gratulation euch Vieren auf dem Podium. Und damit kommen wir zur Übergabe der Pokale. Starten wir mit Platz 3. Der Pokal für Thiago Vivacqua aus den Händen von Alexandra Seidlen, Gewinnerin der DTM Fan Experience, mit dem Pokal für unseren Drittplatzierten. Congratulations! Celine Kraus mit dem Pokal für den Zweitplatzierten, in dem Fall Daniel Gregor. Auch sie eine Gewinnerin der DTM Fan Experience. Gratulation! Alexandra Seidler erneut mit dem Pokal, in dem Fall für das siegreiche Team Toyota Gazoo Racing Germany, powered by Ring Racing. Uwe Kleen nimmt den Pokal stellvertretend in Empfang. Und dann hier der ganz große Pott für unseren Sieger, erneut aus den Händen von Celine Kraus. Der heißt Tim Heinemann aus Deutschland. Gratulation! So, bitte einmal, please get together, einmal zusammentreten, bis alle Fotografen glücklich sind und jeder sein Foto hier geschossen hat. Uwe, hoch, komm. Geht. Ja, ich sehe jede Menge glückliche Gesichter. Hast du, willst du? Alles gut. Und damit Champagne, Gentlemen! So, das war also die DTM Trophy am Samstag. Morgen sind wir ein bisschen früher dran, auch